This is Third Eye TV Africa, and of course, we've been discussing with the veteran, and the program itself is The Veteran. My name, once again, is Ben Shaman. The veteran before us is a decorated, well deserved general of the Nigerian Army, retired, but not tired, always here and there. And of course, we are talking about the insurgents in Nigeria. Well, we spoke about the asymmetric kind of war and all that stuff. Now, today, the trending issue is the National Assembly inviting service chiefs come and explain the fact that there is a congressman in America talking of Perry Scott, who is saying that the U.S. aid is always been used in some cases to sponsor terrorism, and he mentioned Boko Haram. How do you feel about this?
Somehow it's intriguing. I mean, I don't want to say funny, but it's very, very revealing. However, let's be sure, I still believe that this declaration needs to be further verified. When I say further, there may be more dimensions to it that may turn out to be more, that be so such a big scandal and so revealing. But let's even take it that claim is right. It will only provoke the need for us Nigerians to also look inwards. Apart from the design sabotage through the U.S. aids, how about the Nigerians who showed high degree of unpatriotism, so to say, who were so unpatriotic as to be latching on the American aid to want to bring the nation down in the time of war? If you cast your mind back, you'll see that, apart from the claims from America, there were many other things that indicated that some Nigerians were celebrating, our misfortune in that insecurity. They celebrated it. They were ready to team up with foreign countries against the nation. Okay, is it not from Nigerians that the idea of arms embargo on Nigeria, refusal to sell arms to Nigeria, was it not prompted by Nigerians? Where are the Nigerians now? When people were in search for power, they were ready to do anything, no matter how unpatriotic. That's why I say there may be more revelations behind this.
Yes. Now just quickly concerning this arms embargo, at a point, yes, we've identified the West, America, Canada, everywhere, South Africa.
Yes.
There were these sanctions. But again, it took Donald Trump to ensure that Nigeria gets Super Tucanos.
Yes.
How do you see this too?
Yeah, the regime change in America gave a clearer dimension to the motive of each party. The motive of Obama then was to frustrate Nigeria and make us, make the insecurity continue and perhaps give the Boko Haram an upper hand against Nigeria. Because I can't see any other reason for, the way they were celebrating the misfortune of Nigeria. Every excuse was being used to discourage the military. If it is not human rights accusation today, it will be one other story tomorrow. And they kept putting this as means of distraction to hold down the hand of the military and to give the impression that the Nigerian military could not win against terrorists. Like I said, unfortunately, many Nigerian politicians and elite were joining them to celebrate that wish, that evil wish. That's why I call it unpatriotic Nigerians. They may not agree to be so now because some of them are something else now. But let everybody check himself. How many people collaborated with the wish of Obama to bring Nigeria to embarrassment? Was it not Nigeria who went there to campaign that they should not sell arms to Nigeria? Was it not Nigerians who were championing the claim of, unnecessary human rights abuse allegations, all those ones? So as time goes on, we'll see more. We'll see more to this.
I remember sometimes when I see press releases coming from you,
Yes.
signed by you, one word you use is spurious. These are spurious allegations. Now, we have a situation to where the American embassy here, even today, or rather yesterday, is saying that America is still committed to the fight against insurgency in Nigeria. Do you see a double talk today, or because a regime is gone, a regime change has taken place in America, the new man is probably trying to still cut Nigeria?
I want to be, cautious in endorsing all these claims so quickly. That's why I said we'll still see more to the dimension of U.S. aids. Let's check our own self, including those, celebrating this claim now. Now, every government official, either in America or Nigeria, wants to dance to, whatever position the government is standing. Ordinarily, they know that it's in the interest of America to appear to be friendly to Nigeria. One other thing we discovered then that we shouted and nobody wanted to believe us was that those who claim to be coming here to aid us, the things they were interested in were not what we were willing to tell them, because we didn't believe in their mission. For instance, how can you come to a country in war and tell them you want to study their contingency plans? These were the kind of things that those who claim to be coming here to aid us in search for Chibok girls were demanding. And any professional army, what is sought, will not give that out. And that led to another area of disagreement between us and the American officials. The public may not know that.
Yeah,
but
at the point
us too.
Yeah, at the point we heard that some of these American military officials,
Yes,
wanted to also be part of the military, the barrack system in Nigeria.
Yes, they were more interested in gathering intelligence that will undermine our own national security, and the military instinct in our leaders there felt that no, we got to be careful with this kind of aid.
I think Victor Malu was
no, that was Bade and Minima and others. The leadership was being cautious, but we also record that some politicians rebuked our stance. I mean, the military stance as at that time. That no, we cannot open up the whole nation in the name of getting aid. And some were, didn't see sense in that position. But like I said, it's the instinct, the professional instinct in the leadership that, resisted the extent they wanted to go in the name of giving aids.
Now, what you are saying is actually tallying with what the current Chief of Defense Staff, General Chris, like your name, Wabin Musa was saying, that the activities of NGOs are becoming too suspicious.
Yeah.
And that's also why the war appears to be lingering, because there is the economy of the war. Some people are enjoying, some people are smiling to the banks because of the war. So what was your experience then managing NGOs? Then you have displaced persons who indeed are in need of this, but you find people running NGOs via newspapers and they are busy buying accommodations here and there.
Yeah, you see, it's just now that everybody is liberal enough to, make statements about it. If you cast your mind back, you remember at the time there was an embargo on their movement. There, many Nigerians also criticized that. It's not everything that the military will want to explain. Like what the present CDS is explaining, is because the time has come for such disclosures. Otherwise, the military has always been, do I say suspicious or uncomfortable with the desire to invade that area, even from the so-called Red Cross and all others. We've always had issues. That's the truth. There's always been issue, and the issue is out of instinct that no, this demand is suspicious. This demand is not proper. Even journalists, with due respect, some foreign and some local, some desire to play either the devil's advocate or play left and right, is not are not often found comfortable. So when there are restrictions, it's because of that. And like the CDS said, it's because this suspicion has always been at the back of our mind. The disclosure now is giving credence to the position of the military leadership all along.
Yes. Now, after retirement, I'm sure, generals like to venture into some other activities. After all, you've told us during your soldier boy days, you were adventurous.
Yes.
We'll come to that, but not without this professional question. You were in Ibadan at the point. I was there in Ibadan. The late Chief of Army Staff, General Taurid Lagbaja, was there. They had this conference. And again, General Chris Musa, in addressing GOCs, and simply was too blunt, even when the press was there. He said, look, commanders, when you are given money to give troops, give them, so that we don't get bad names. I mean, you feel again do you feel time again has come that there should be no holdbacks, that you could talk like that before the press?
Yeah, depending on the confidence in the press. I mean, what I mean by that is that the press will honestly and carefully analyze or interpret such declaration. That's often the concern. That these people listening to me, would they give a considerate interpretation to my statement, or they will turn it around? When some hear that, they like to use it to confirm the fact that officers are stealing soldiers' money. At the end of the day, it's risky even to morale. I have shared one thing that I saw as a terrible dent on Nigeria's image, which I attribute to the government of Obama and John Kerry. Is it John Kerry, American Secretary of State?
Yes.
He went before an audience in, was it Germany? A European audience, and was narrating the Nigerian situation. And one thing he said that pained me, and I felt very bad, was that he said, we have seen in Nigeria a situation where the generals just share the soldiers' money. They share their salary. Is that true? It's not likely. I don't think we've gotten to that level of, cruelty, an irresponsible level. But he was selling that to a global audience, presenting the Nigerian situation as if this is a banana, this is a republic where, people can do anything.
And it was with an audience where there was no right of reply.
Exactly. This is this American Secretary of State. But naturally, he got this from the media, social or whatever. And that means the government of America, at least as I then, believe it. If not, how would they be sharing it to that level of audience, global audience? So these are the implications of some of these,
Excuse me.
Utterances and declaration. It could be misinterpreted in the, against the interests of the nation.
Now let's go to life after the uniform. What are you doing for a living? Because we're told generals or the military, they love farming. Am I preempting you? So what are you doing for a living?
First of all, let me acknowledge and thank the Nigerian military for you know, a timely settlement of our pensions. I live mostly on my pension. I'm also involved in ministry. Actually, I'm a pastor, but that's not what I'm living on. I'm just doing it, out of joy. I've been ordained as a full pastor as far back as 1995.
Wow.
So this retirement,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you, gives me an opportunity to go into full-scale pastoring, and I
So
enjoy the
let's
relationship.
put it this way.
So,
When Jesus met some people and said, I will make you fishers of men. So you are a fisher of men.
yes,
So
and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's a thing I'm glad to have time now. I have enough time now to devote to soul winning, pastoring the flock of God, and working with the people of God. It's one area of fulfillment that I will cherish forever.
But do you think
God has done so
religion?
much for me.
Yes. Do you think religion is an issue, a problem to Nigeria? Because people fight easily over religion.
I don't think so. I don't think that religion is the problem. Maybe it's the people that are the problem. That's why we need more of religion. When I say religion, I mean in this context, I'm talking about relationship with God. We need it. Maybe that's even why the situation is still within some control. It's the God intervention. We won't stop praying, both for the nation and for families.
And some people will say, we are so prayerful, but not too religious. And that's why sometimes corruption is all over. How do we strike a balance here?
Yeah, it's always been there. That's why we need God. That's why we need God to touch the heart of man. When the heart of man is not touched, he can do anything. For instance, the Bible says the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it? So the natural man that has not encountered God can do anything evil. And religion is one of, corruption is one of those evils that society must be wary of. So we would always need a relationship with God. And the more we receive that for our society, maybe the better. We cannot do away with that religious element. If we get that far, the situation will be completely out of control.
Now, when you look at the group you call the Gen Zs, when you're talking of the youth, sometimes even in places of worship, they just try to just make a number.
Yeah.
You go to some churches, they are outside. Real worshippers are inside. And I was listening to some students in a certain campus. An announcement that was done in the church was what was also the students were also discussing, having come from a mosque. The pastor was complaining that some youths, because of lack of light, they go to church phones because of the generator in the church. And some youths in the from the mosque here in Abuja was said, look, that the imam said he was not going to use generator any longer, because each time the generator was on, people just go to church phone. Was it the phone they went to church, or they went to in search of? So what am I trying to say? The youths appear not to be bothered about religion. So how do we handle this?
Yeah, it's a matter of values, which must begin from the family. And I don't think generational disposition is enough reason to turn away from God. There has always been that threat of people not wanting to embrace God's standard. We talk of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible, where people became so loose as to, get God angry that they must be destroyed. And so when you see a society tending in that direction, whatever be their reason, whether they are Gen Z or whatever, it should give us concern. But whether or not within the same generation, there are still very fervent youths. There are youths who want to work for God, who want to enjoy a relationship with God. It's not all embracing, although it's overwhelming. Seriously implicated, and I escaped. Because I've just been posted to Kano, and I just married.
No, wait.
So I just married. Now, my wife was pregnant. So I come and visit and go back to Canada. Use weekend, go back. This day, there was to be a public holiday that ends on Friday. I now decided to spill to add Saturday. I was supposed to be back in Kano on Friday, but it was covered by public holiday. I said, let me just use the weekend and add it. Lo and behold, Oka could happen. Now, my joy was that initially my joy was that I used the weekend. I would now say, if this school succeed, maybe I won't go and show in Kano. But if it fail, they will ask me where was I there? So I was just monitoring the situation, monitoring it till night. So night now fell. I was still in Lagos. Coup had failed. I said, Jesus, what trouble is this? I must be back in Kano before Monday morning. I went to the park. No more motor because it was school. There was school everywhere. So one J5 say he's going to Kano. I say anything to take, I'll join you. I joined this J5. We got to toll gate. They say everybody come down. Soldiers litter everywhere. As they littered everywhere, he started looking at each person face. When the judge say, this one a soldier, come down. I couldn't argue. They said, bring him. They said the coup don't fail. They won't run away. Bring him down. Kai. That day was humiliating for me. I dare not talk. So they carried me or took me to their officer. This Captain Shongonuga. We work together in gas brigade. They say, oh boy, what did they do here? That, oh boy, are they pass so? Now I want to run back to my distance. Oh boy, no, they move this kind of time. Oh. It's very dangerous. Oh. Let him go. Shortly before my J5 motor will take off, they stop. They put me back in the bus. If it were not that Shongonuga is my friend, he could just arrest me there, bam, saying I one of the plotters with this. Now,
is it possible because sharing one?
Yeah, but you know, it look very funny. Many people will look at it. If I share this, it's maybe an exclusive, another exclusive. No.
I'm
trying to. I'm already working on it.
Allah.
Now I escape here. I go back to Kano. Another trouble. You know what happened? I have some boys working in my department, Army Public Relations. When the coup happened, there's this newspaper in Kano, Triumph. One of my corporal went to grant interview and said that some officers have been arrested in the brigade there. And he mentioned names. Triumph published it. Hey, back. And they just carry the soldier. Yeah, I surfaced in the office early in the morning, trying to pretend that
you went nowhere.
I went. So when this publication came out, it's in my office. Hey, they arrest this boy. I would like so one, it's my problem because it's my department. And they dismissed the boy at last. So I had to say I don't know about it. Luckily, nobody talked to that area, but where I would have really entered trouble. You know, there was an instruction that all brigade commanders should do a broadcast disowning the coup. When my own brigade commander in Kano wanted to go to station, they look for me, they don't see me. That was what would have exposed me that I wasn't around. They say, so immediately I suffered the interview say, where were you? They were looking for you everywhere here on Saturday. Where were you? I had to confide in say, I did Lagos, so now Lagos I did. I just managed to come this and say, oh boy,
Okay. Now, looking back, now and the future, talking of the veteran General Chris Olukolade, any regret?
None whatsoever. I have cause to thank God. And that's why I believe that the rest of my life should be devoted to serving God. I owe him so much. And I wish he gives me all the grace to please him with the rest of my life.
Okay. Now, if you were the Nigerian president now, what will you do to Nigeria or to Nigerians?
I'm sure you know I don't have that ambition. But
That's why it is conditional. If you were to be,
I will wish that the country exploits the best of its resources for the best interest of the majority, if not all, of the people.
well, you've been listening to him, you've been viewing him, you've been hearing him. I am talking of a veteran, a soldier to the core, and a public relations guru, a fisher of men, a pastor, of course, a family man who loves humanity. I'm talking of General Chris Olukolade, born and bred in Zaria, Kaduna State, who is also a visitor to his state in Ondo State. And of course, above all, he says he is a Nigerian, and that is what it ought to be. Sir, we want to thank you for coming to Third Eye TV.
I thank you so much for this privilege, and I appreciate the relationship I've always enjoyed with Ben and the impact that's had on this conversation. Thank you so very much.
We want to thank you for coming. Keep listening, dear watcher, dear viewer, to Third Eye TV. My name, as you said, is Ben Shaman. Thank you